Alright, welcome back to another match of TNT Championship Season 1, 2024. I'm Delthius. We're going to go into an open league game here. Kerpa versus TNAV. Let's get into it. Okay. In the middle of the map, we've got Kerpa. And over on the left, Underking Dress, aka TNAV, aka Totally Not a Voyeur, I believe. Alright, let's take a look at these decks. Kerpa, very similar to what Jason Blade was running. Got the Squizzard going on, Cam Falcon, Boar, Turret. I think the Boar Turret, a little bit outdated is a strong word, but we'll see. Again, I mean, I don't think, people have a knee-jerk reaction, especially in a lot of RTS or any kind of competitive game in general. Like, when something gets nerfed, people just generally are like, oh, it's unplayable now and stuff. You know, keep in mind the Boar is just as strong as it was, right? Like, HP-wise, flamethrower damage-wise, all that kind of stuff. So, the only difference is that Boar Bomb is going to deal less damage. So, early Warren here from Kerpa and matched by Underking Dress, aka TNAV. Just one thing, Underking Oris, okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the Snowstorm font. Interesting. One thing, for players, if you can play your matches on the same name that you signed up on, it does help the organizers a little bit. Not the biggest deal in the world, not really a requirement or anything. People change their Steam names all the time, but we will refer to them as TNAV to keep things consistent here. All right, so yeah, a little bit of quick warrens from TNAV, and you know, generally speaking, you need to get something done damage-wise because the economy's a little bit behind, and sometimes I see this happen. It's generally good, too, to check your mini-map. Like, I'm curious if they just think that they took all 8 farms and left one behind. Normally, you really... The only time you don't want to get straight to 8 farms if you're doing, like, a 5-farm or 4-farm double attack. Okay, there goes that last 8 farm there, so... The problem here, though, is that Kerpa's already ahead in economy. So let's see if that actually matters this game or not. Now, the benefit for TNAV is that the skunk is going to come out pretty quick. So if TNAV can leverage this fast skunk, there could be something to this build order. You know, getting that tier 2 out a little bit faster. But I feel like TNAV is kind of in a position now where they do need to get something done. Ideally. If not the end of the world. You know, a lot of these little kind of advantages will even out. The longer the game goes on, like if you're behind by 100 food or something like that, the longer the game goes on, the less and less that matters. You know, because 100 food is 10% of 1,000 food, if that's the total food that you've harvested, but it's only 5% of 2,000 food, right? So, great pickup there from TNAV. Already getting a Warren. A little bit misplaced by Kerpa. I wonder if Kerpa was flirting with the idea of aggression. Kerpa gonna come in and try to thwart this attack. The Chameleon on the front line, getting on top of the skunks. One skunk goes down. Good retreat here by TNAV. Keeps the skunk and the pigeons alive. Overall, the trade was pretty even. The skunk gas did get a ton of damage done to Kerpa's squirrels. So TNAV is a little bit worried about a counterattack. Also is investing in the second base. So I think these turrets are great for now. Kerpa does have that campfire, which is going to give him that extra farm for a little bit cheaper than the traditional bases. Kerpa's seen the second base yet. Kerpa has. And Kerpa's got a nice little pocket base in the back. Let's see. I'd love to see TNAV kind of sell off these turrets at some point when they deem themselves safe. The nice thing about turrets is that they take only 10 seconds to build. So you can build them like on demand pretty quickly. Kerpa gonna try to run through here and do some esports with the chameleons. TNAV is not aware of this move. Does get a farm. Now can he get the chameleons out alive is the question. TNAV more focused on the front line. Gonna try to move in with these squirrels, but this attack path is just absolutely horrid. A really great defendable position here from Kerpa. You know, all the units kind of scrunching in on this little bridge right here. Is just very bad. It creates a bad concave versus convex scenario. And Kerpa gonna go for the boar. TNAV is grabbing more turrets for now. TNAV needs to see the board coming down from Kerpa. If TNAV can't see... Now, the problem is there's really only one way in and out. Like, this is actually a great position for Kerpa to try to throw down a Warren. Like, it's really hard for TNAV to scout. But TNAV does need to get in there and scout. The snake is on the way, which is going to be good on the tier 3. Let's see. Economy. Now, TNAV has been doing a good job of trying to balance economy. You know, keeping that second base running. Oh, this would be the perfect time for TNAV to attack. 360 food is invested into a boar right now that's doing nothing for the field. But again, this is just a really hard angle to attack into. You see all those squirrels just kind of lump up there. You know, this is so defendable for Kerpa. Kerpa absolutely slaying this, even while being so far behind. That's what's so wild about this game sometimes. Like, positioning matters so much. And the fact that all those squirrels just kind of walked up on this bridge and just got slaughtered, you know, where... If these two armies met in an open field, I guarantee you TNAV would have won that. Alright, Kerpa's just going to wait for this boar and push in. And the boar is actually super effective against turrets, too. It does get crit damage against structures, so... I'm scared for TNAV here. It does have the snakes. You know, maybe the snakes can get some good snake tags onto the boar. But I think if Kerpa just YOLO pushes, yeah, the Badger coming down. So TNAV is kind of sensing, like, well, we should be getting into a tier 3 at this point. But the boar is already here. And I think Kerpa just runs this over. Let's find out. Kerpa gonna smash in. Trying to pull the boar back. Wants to keep it alive. Wants to keep it away from the snakes. One snake tag does go on it, and yeah, Kerpa just crushes that force. Those turrets are lunch for a boar, and he absolutely demolishes them. And I think Kerpa is gonna flamethrow his way here to match number 2, up 1-0. Okay. Let's get into game number 2 between Kerpa and TNAV. Spawning on the right-hand side, we've got Kerpa rocking the Ferret Fox balloon. Love to see it. Up top, Under King Oris, aka TNAV, with some barbed wire artillery. So some cool options coming out from both sides. I like TNAV's comp. Like, if you're gonna do a 2 defense comp and, like, try to make something crazy happen with the artillery, like, I think the rest of it's pretty solid, right? Like, Squirrel Cam Falcon, you know, hell, Owl, if we get there, if the game, you know, starts running long, I think that's totally fine. Kerpa's deck is a little bit more, I don't know, meme isn't the right word. Weird, I guess, is appropriate. It's kind of like high risk, high reward. You know, ferrets can be devastating or do very little. You know, Fox is kind of in the same boat, depending on the state of the game and when you get it and all that kind of stuff. Fox can either make your opponent want to quit playing Tooth and Tail, or it can die against a Death Ball army comp or something like that, you know, and not really do anything. So we'll see how this one plays out. Pretty short map. Kind of balanced, I guess. Oh my gosh. Listen, if TNAV gets this and then puts an Artie up here with some wire, dude, that'd be so sick. So sick. We'll see what happens. Both players have decent access to the second base. Third base gets a little bit wonky. I guess a little bit easier for Kerpa, but this is also, like, super close to the opponent. TNAV, by the way, I need to quit glazing over in the hyper early game, because TNAV is doing some interesting, like, pre-8 farm Warren stuff. Does have a double here. I wasn't quite paying close enough attention to see how they got these Warrens out. Generally, we see, like, 5 farm doubles, 6 farm doubles situations, but you never know. Oh my god. Oh my, okay. I was like, is that an owl? It's coming close to 180. Falcon, alright. Falcon seems good on this map. A lot of these choke points are really awkward, and Falcons can be great, right? Because, oh my gosh, these squirrels, though, just out in the middle of nowhere. Kerpa is going to come in and catch these squirrels. TNAV was debating putting on some pressure early on and never retreated those squirrels back. So, you know, that is a really big advantage for Kerpa. I can't sugarcoat that one. Losing all those squirrels there. Kerpa's definitely in the lead now. TNAV does have the Falcons a little bit faster than the Ferrets, though. Wants to try to throw up some barbed wire, but again, Kerpa's units are just right here. Gonna shoot all those down. You know, some extra value there for Kerpa. So TNAV is playing from behind now. Oh my gosh, and look at this. I was drooling over an artillery earlier, but this balloon right here. Unfortunately for TNAV, I think Kerpa's got the stranglehold already because they kind of lost those squirrels. Just unfortunately forgetting that they left them, you know, deep in enemy territory. But now, like, they're behind, and the balloon is up, and the ferrets are about to start coming in. So this is, like, the perfect... Like, ferrets do such a good job of, like, hey, I'm a little bit ahead, but I don't know if I'm, like, just straight up YOLO crash into your base ahead. You know, now TNAV's in a position where the ferrets are just gonna, you know, beat them down over time, but TNAV really can't come in and contest it because the army is just too far behind. TNAV's commander goes down as well. The units get rallied in. And I think this is going to be a pretty short match, too. I think once this base goes down, Kerpa's even got the Fox coming. Owl on the way here for TNAV, but really this game... So Kerpa's got TNAV in a little bit of a checkmate situation with the balloon ferret contained. But really, where this game went wrong was those squirrels being caught out because Kerpa wouldn't have been able to do this if he didn't have that advantage. Right? Because when the balloon went down, TNAV could have contested it. Kerpa realizing they don't need the balloons anymore. Now, Kerpa is being a little show-offy here with the Fox coming in. If he messes this up, right, the Falcons come out. Yeah, there's just too many squirrels here for Kerpa. So it'll be game number 2, going to Kerpa. Oh, man. I'm surprised I got one of those bots in chat. That's funny. All right, 2-0 for Kerpa. I'm always hesitant to like ban those myself because I'm like, oh, is a mod around? Because it's always fun, like if you're a mod, to like hit that. Hey, see you later, Josh. Take care. Okay. Oh, let's keep it going. What are we on here? Game number 3. Kerpa versus TNAV. Again, Kerpa's a really strong player. I wouldn't be surprised if Kerpa went very deep in the open division. On the bottom right, up 2 matches right now is Kerpa, and over on the left-hand side, Under King Oris, a.k.a. TNAV. And really cool deck out of TNAV this time. Oh, the moles. Oh, Urbane Olive would be proud. I'm not sure how well the mole rushes work now that the DPS... Well, you want to hit him on the structure, right? So let's look at that structure crit. He really needs Kerpa to put a farm right there, and Kerpa doesn't. Alright, Under King Oris. I can tell that they want to be aggressive. You know, they do a lot of, like... They don't go right up to 8 farms. Like, they're trying to figure out some pre-8 farms type stuff. And the moles aren't going to quite do it. The moles need a... They need to be attacking a building farm, because a farm itself is not considered a structure, it's considered a unit. But while the farm is building, it's a structure. So that right there, like if that was there earlier, TNAV could have came in, mulled that down, came out, sold it. But that mole attack was ineffective. Kerpa is up a lot, and TNAV tries to build a desperate turret. The turret was too far out. I think the turret was a good idea, but it needed to be right next to the farms. And I think this is just going to be a really fast game number 3. Kerpa Gonna take the 3 points. And be in a good spot in their group here moving forward. 3-0 for Kerpa.